Hi everyone, the holidays are here and I'm asking for your help to put smiles on the faces of the children this season. All through this month and until December 8th, I'm running a Toys for Tots fundraiser. Donations can be made through my Ko-fi page, and all funds raised will go to purchasing toys for children in need this holiday season. Click the link in the description below and help give a child a Merry Christmas. Click the link in the description below and we can all be Santa Claus this year. Hello everybody, Mac here. Welcome back to the show. Welcome to our first unboxing of the year so far. I hope you've been following on our advent calendar openings, but today we have something kind of fun. We have the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Holiday Edition Snow Trooper. And just taking a look inside of the packaging, I'm sure you can figure out why it's called Holiday Edition. Now, before we go any further, please remember, if you like what you're seeing, hit the like button. Small channel like mine, that really helps it grow, that gets some interaction, that gets it into the algorithm, that gets more eyes on it, and that helps us grow and grow and grow as a community. So I would greatly appreciate that. Also, don't forget we have our Toys for Tots fundraiser with exclusive content on the Ko-fi page. Check that out in the description below and the pinned comment. But now, let's take a look at this. This is the Snow Trooper, and I believe this is actually a Target exclusive. There were a few of these holiday figures that Hasbro put out that were like store exclusives. I think one was Walmart, one was Target, one might have been Amazon. I can't really remember because I typically don't collect these, but this one, for some reason, really tickled my fancy. For some reason, I wanted to pick this one up, and I also have the Purge Trooper Nutcracker coming as well. Those two this year, for some reason, they really spoke to me. I really wanted to get them. For this, I honestly think it's that scarf that's going around his neck. But taking a look at this, can't even say it's the standard Black Series packaging. This is obviously holiday packaging. We have... I just noticed the snowflakes are made up of Snow Trooper helmets and probe droids right there. That's kind of fantastic. We have a large window showing off the figure inside. Even if they hadn't gone back to the windowless packaging, even if they hadn't gone back to window packaging, I'm not entirely sure the holiday edition would have had special packaging. I kind of think they would have kept recycling this for the holidays. On the side, we have the to and from label in case you're giving it as a gift. On the back, we have the Holiday Snow Trooper Holiday Edition. Celebrate the season with specially designed Star Wars figures from the Black Series. That's what you get in place of a bio. Over here, we have a ribbon with a more window up top to let the light down through when it's hanging on the pegs. Nothing but legal on the bottom. So, without further ado, now that we've gone over the packaging, let's just get this open and let's take a look at him. And keep this in mind, I don't actually collect Star Wars Black Series, so I can't even compare this to the standard Snow Trooper, so we're just going to take a look at it for what it is. Now, without further ado, let's get this open and let's take a look at Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Snow Trooper Holiday Edition. Okay, here he is, our Holiday Snow Trooper out of his packaging alongside the buddy that he comes with, his Igloo Torture Droid. And the Torture Droid on his stand to the top of his Bibbly Bobs is roughly 5 inches tall, while our Holiday Snow Trooper is just shy of 6 1/4 to the top of his helmet. Here he is, our Holiday Snow Trooper up close, and first of all, let's just take a minute and take a look and appreciate the paint apps on this guy. The carrot nose, the coal smiley face of the mouth, the scarf going around him, the black cap on him. This is like Frosty the Snow Trooper right here. I even love the red knee pads and the candy cane striping around his boots right here on the boot straps. I think this all looks great. I, as I said, don't have a Snow Trooper to compare it, so I don't even know how the whites compare to the whites of the standard Snow Trooper. But this is really white, stark white. I'm kind of worried I'm going to get it dirty with my fingers white. The armor, the skirting right here, the plastic skirting, all of it is very white, very shiny, looks fantastic. I really like, when I first saw this, like, there was a real illusion to me that, like, there was actually a carrot nose on this figure when I saw it go up for pre-order, that I was kind of surprised when I later found out that this was just painted on there. But I think it looks good. I think it looks really good, especially when you look at it from certain angles. And I mean, it's Christmas. It's a Christmas gimmick figure. What else could you want from this? I think this looks great. I also really appreciate the detail to the armor. I don't know why mine is kind of crooked. If it's the, oh, maybe it's the torso, the waist piece. There we go. I think the waist piece was crooked. I thought the upper armor was crooked, but it was actually this piece that was crooked. Fixed it. I think this is the same armor that characters like General Veers wear. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not even going to try and compare it to other Black Series figures. I don't have them. I just want to appreciate the paint app. I really like all this coloring they put in here. I even like this sort of like gingerbread tan that they used for the undergarment of the Snow Trooper. I think that looks really good, and I really think it makes all the other colors and this white armor just pop. Now, taking a look at the articulation, this is what kind of surprised me, because even after years of watching Robo and his bread and butter is Star Wars, I never really realized how limited the articulation on Star Wars figures are. For example, with this, and it's kind of obvious that there's no tilt to his head, he can't look up, he can't look down. He can do a full 360, but that's about it. So he can do a side-to-side look. I'm not surprised about the head articulation because of how big and how chonky this helmet is. Arms will do a full 360. I was surprised that there's no butterfly joints in the shoulders. The arms can come up. The arms will stop right about there, but if you sort of push down, see how, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you, but see how, like, there's this armor piece right here, but if you sort of push down on it, when you lift the shoulder, the armor will go underneath. The shoulder armor will go underneath the chest armor, and you can get it out to 90. But you can see it's already kind of chewing up mine. I had to push it back into position, so I wouldn't recommend doing that much. It might jack up your shoulder armor right here. Single jointed elbows that give you a little bit past 90. Hinge and swivel at the elbow. Wrists pivot. Wrists hinge in and out on the left hand. On the right hand, his trigger hand, his weapon hand, is a hinge up and down. Always love that. Torso, not much going on here. He can go forward a little bit, but that armor really stops him. He can go back a little bit further, but not much. He does have a full 360 torso twist right there, and not a whole lot for side-to-side movement. That brings us down to the legs, and the legs are kind of a bear too, because of this heavy rubber skirting that we'll take a look at in a minute. Once we're done with the articulation, let me sort of turn it inside out. That this way, the legs will come up, the legs will go back, legs will go out, but that's as far as it'll go because of this heavy rubber right here. There is a thigh cut, double jointed knees. You can get some really tight travel right there. They're a little gummy. I think this mold is kind of old, so the knees are a little bit gummy. There's no boot cut, which surprised me. Ankles will rock back. Ankles won't really rock forward. They sort of stop themselves. And there is a forward-facing pin for some rocker. Now, let's get back to this, and let's talk about this piece. I thought this was going to end up being cloth goods. This is actually a very heavy rubber piece that is really going to interfere with the articulation of the legs. Now, for the standard Snow Trooper that you got whenever it came out, I can understand that being a big bummer, especially if you were going to try and put these on a speeder bike or something. But with the holiday figures, I kind of feel like it's not as big of a hindrance because, truthfully, you're going to put them on the shoulder. You're going to put them on the shelf, and they're going to be, holiday decoration for you, more likely. But I can see that people who would want to get these into like a more action-ready pose, like a stormtrooper pose, this is a huge hindrance. I do love that you still have the grenade pouch back here on that, and then the other pouches on this as well. This is attached to this solid piece right here, this plastic piece, and I don't think there's any way of taking this off unless you pop the whole figure apart, which we are not going to do. Now, taking a look at his little buddy that he comes with, this is basically just a big plastic slug. There's no articulation to this. There's no movement to this. Even these little beebly bobs here don't really move. They're very rubbery, though, so there's very little chance that they're just going to snap and break off. Like, I feel like I would really have to want to break these to snap these off because of how flexible they are. At first, when I saw the packaging, I thought this was going to be the probe droid, but I'm pretty sure this is the torture droid that Vader used against Leia. And yeah, because I think this is the syringe right here. And I don't get why they packaged him in with the snowtrooper. I do love the all-white paint deco with this blue up here like he's been getting snowed on. I think that looks really good. I think the sculpt is very good. I really do like it. I just wish there might have been some minor articulation to this thing. But I do like the detail work on it. I do like the sculpt. And yeah, like you can even see these were like the snips, the chompers. I think these were supposed to be like sonic torturers, sort of like shock therapy. But I like the look of it. And you can see that he has this peg hole down here. And when we did the measurements, it's no surprise what this is, that he comes with this clear stand on a ball joint so that you can just prop him up and he can be part of your festive season. A big white torture droid. Now, as far as accessories go, there aren't many that comes with this holiday snowtrooper, but there are a few, and one of them that we have is this backpack. And this looks great in this green. It really does. Like, I think this was originally done in white for the standard snowtrooper, but I think this looks great in this green, this almost metallic green, that it really makes some of the details and the sculpt stand out. I love the red hatch, the red access hatch right here up top. I think this looks great. It goes great with the guy, with our snowtrooper, and the backpack fits on there so well, such a tight fit. Really how I would love some of the G.I. Joe classified backpacks to fit. Like, that's what I really like about this. Like, when they hollowed it out like this, I think this is genius, that like it's still a flat piece of plastic. It's still a flat backpack. But because they hollowed it out, it really helps to conform to the back of the figure and really gets a nice tight fit on there. I really like that. The other accessory that he comes with is his blaster rifle right here, done up in some festive holiday coloring. Why orange, though? I'm not sure. Other than, you know, it matches his carrot nose. I might have liked to have seen this more in red rather than the orange, but that's just me. I do like the sculpt on it. I do like the detail on it. I mean, you can look at this and you know exactly what this is when you look at it. There's no doubt in anyone's mind that this is like the Stormtrooper blaster. I just wish, and I know why they gave this one to the Snowtrooper, but I kind of wish that it just came with the standard, what was it, the EU-11, because this is the first and so far only Stormtrooper of any kind that I have. I would have loved to have gotten like the traditional EU-11 with him, but this is very cool too, and he looks really good holding it. At first I thought his hands were a little too small, but it does fit in there fairly well. The finger gets up to the trigger, but it doesn't really go into the trigger guard because of how far out the trigger comes. But he can get a decent grip on it, and he looks good holding it. I think that looks cool. Our droid over here, he gets a stand, but I like this look. This is a really cool duo right here for like a holiday gimmick figure. And now for size comparison, here he is beside Fresh Monkey Fiction's Naughty or Nice collection Sergeant Santa and Jazzware's Fortnite collection Slushy Soldier. I don't have any open Black Series figures to compare him to. Like, none. So here he is beside Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Series Snow Job and Stalker. Here he is beside some figures from another holiday, Jada Toys Universal Monsters, Count Dracula and the Creature from the Black Lagoon. Here he is beside Jada Toys' Spartan Collection Master Chief, and I think this is a Spartan Mark IV in the white armor. And finally, here he is beside NECA Toys' Dungeons & Dragons, War Duke, and Grim Sword. I mean, what else is there to say about this figure? Of course you're going to like it. If you're into the holidays, if you celebrate the holidays, if you're into Star Wars Black Series, if you're into gimmick figures like this that come out around the holidays, you're going to like this figure. It wasn't meant to be taken seriously. It is just something to put a smile on your face during the holidays, and for me, it does just that. Having a very limited exposure to the Star Wars Black Series line, I can understand some fans' frustrations with the articulation, but I do think they make up for it in sculpt and in detail, because like I said, the armor, the undersuit for it, the detail, the texturing on the skirting that comes down in back, I think the figure looks really good. I really do. And the articulation, the limits of the articulation, the only thing I was really surprised at was there not being a boot cut. It could definitely benefit from a butterfly joint, especially with a two-handed weapon, a rifle like this. But that's not necessarily something that has to be on modern figures. It just really helps if it is there. I do like the paint apps. I think the paint apps are absolutely flawless. Like, I didn't have any overspray on mine. I didn't have any misspray on mine. I think the paint apps, that scarf, the snowman face, the black cap that's supposed to be like the bowler that he wears, or the top hat that he wears, the candy cane striping around his boots. I think the whole thing looks fantastic. And for as simple as it is, just that blue wash that's on top of the torture droid, I think that looks fantastic too. I still don't get why they gave him a torture droid, but hey, why not? Other than maybe it just looks like a big flying snowball. Don't forget that we're doing our countdown to Christmas, our advent calendar every night. Tonight is, if I put this up when I think I'm going to, is December 7th, so of course it'll be day 7 on the advent calendar. Also remember, we are in the final days of our Toys for Tots fundraiser. Please consider giving that a look as well. So if you're watching the advent calendar opening, until tonight, friends, Merry Christmas. Stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, thank you for watching.